ever considered the depiction of leadership roles that women have portrayed in science fiction? It's a question that invites a deeper dive into the sometimes overlooked contributions of female leadership characters in an area traditionally dominated by male protagonists. Before the surge of the strong female character in recent years, there were pioneering characters in leadership roles in the realm of science fiction stories, movies, and television throughout the 80s and 90s. They were typically smart, tough, and had an inner strength that earned the respect and admiration of everyone. Some started in leadership roles to begin with and continued to earn the respect of those around them throughout the story. Others started in lesser positions and then rose to leadership, whether formally or informally through various stories, films, and TV shows. Today, I will give my opinion of the top 10 women leaders of 80s and 90s science fiction. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. The women on this list were primarily from the space and technology style of science fiction. I did not include characters from the fantasy, magic, or superhero genres. While some women on this list make superb action hero type characters, the main focus for this video is on overall leadership. The characters chosen for this list were primarily selected on their leadership, but other related factors that also weighed heavily on their rankings were integrity, strength, character, willpower, intelligence, toughness, and both tactical and strategic levels of leadership. I also tended to favor those characters that had a journey with ups and downs, successes and failures, and those that had to overcome significant obstacles before becoming the leaders that they are. Let's get started. Number 10, Sayla. Star Trek The Next Generation. Sayla is a Romulan officer with 15 years of experience. It took the combination of both Mr. Spock and Commander Data to outsmart her in another two-part episode, Unification.
We should not discount Jean-Luc Picard yet. He is human. And humans have a way of showing up when you least expect it.
Number 9. Wilma Deering, Buck Rogers. Colonel Wilma Deering was the leader of the Earth Defense Fighter Forces and frequently went on missions with the main character, Buck Rogers. She could hold her own in a fight and more than once had to save Buck. She coordinated battles, piloted space fighters, and was a good shot with a laser pistol. She could also go hand to hand if needed. The show is very campy by today's standards, and the fashion is definitely early 80s, but Colonel Wilma Deering was a role model for many young women who grew up in the 1980s.
Hey, babe, this is quite a setup.
It's Colonel Deering.
Number 8. Sarah Connor, Terminator 1 and 2. Sarah was initially portrayed as a waitress running for her life in the first Terminator movie. But as the movie progresses, Sarah develops her soldiering skills, and it is eventually revealed that she will develop into a key figure in future history to save humanity. While she never interacts on screen with a large group of people, it is apparent through her intelligence, bravery, toughness, and from references in the movies that she will be key to the leadership of what will become the resistance against the machines.
14 a.m. Eastern Time, August 29th. In a panic, they try to pull the plug.
Skynet fights back.
Yeah.
Number 7. Trinity The Matrix. Trinity is a top-level hacker who is Morpheus' first officer and second in command of the Nebuchadnezzar. She can enter the Matrix, kick butt with the best of them, and is a co-equal partner with Neo, the main character. An excellent leader in both the Matrix and in the real world, she is absolutely integral to the success of their missions and has saved her teammates more than once.
You are going to need my help. And since I am the ranking officer on this ship, if you don't like it,
I believe you can go to hell.
Number 6. Ripley Alien. Ripley is a worker-class character who starts out the Alien franchise as a second-in-command of the Nostromo, an industrial spaceship. As the first movie progresses, she has to make some difficult decisions that could mean life or death for the crew. Eventually, due to a crew member disobeying an order, an alien gets on board and begins taking down the crew one at a time. She coordinates with the crew, takes charge when needed, and there are scenes where she addresses the crew who let the alien on board, reminding them of the chain of command. In the second movie, she travels with a group of Marines to investigate what may be the alien incursion at a human colony. She once again holds her own, takes charge when needed, and proves her worth and grit, even compared to hardened Marines who eventually grow to respect her leadership. Number 5. Samantha Carter, Stargate series. Colonel Carter is a scientist with a PhD in astrophysics who is a pilot during the Gulf War. She is the primary science and technology expert in Stargate technology and eventually achieves the rank of colonel with many leadership positions across the Stargate franchise. Not only is she a brilliant scientist, but she is an outstanding officer with experience leading the SG-1 team as head of the Stargate Research and Development Program and eventually commanding the Atlantis expedition of the Stargate Atlantis franchise.
You come to me with a plan that has even an outside chance of succeeding, and I'll consider it. Short of that, John, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do.
Number 4. Susan Ivanova, Babylon 5. Commander Ivanova started as the second in command of the Babylon 5 space station and was eventually promoted to general. After her retirement from the military, she became the leader of the Rangers, referred to as Ranger 1. She truly shines with her no-nonsense management and leadership of Babylon 5. She is frequently shown managing the station, mediating disputes, dealing with diplomats, coordinating battles, piloting a Star Fury fighter, and sometimes as the captain on the bridge of the White Star. Perhaps the best scene that shows her character is during the battle to retake Earth using the White Star fleet.
This is the White Star Fleet. Negative on surrender. We will not stand down.
Who is this? Identify yourself.
Who am I? I am Susan Ivanova, Commander, daughter of Andrei and Sophie Ivanov. I am the right hand of vengeance, and the boot that is gonna kick your sorry ass all the way back to Earth.
Number 3. Captain Janeway, Star Trek Voyager. Captain Janeway was the first female captain as the lead actor in the Star Trek universe. Many women have been portrayed in the Star Trek universe across multiple series in various leadership roles as doctors, scientists, security chiefs, captains, and even admirals. However, Captain Janeway is a first to captain a starship as the main protagonist in a Star Trek series. Captain Janeway has an engineering background and is highly intelligent. She uses her wits, intelligence, willpower, and command presence to guide her crew safely home after many years of traveling the Delta Quadrant. She has challenged and defeated many adversaries, including ultimately the Borg Queen.
I'm really easy to get along with, most of the time. But I don't like bullies, and I don't like threats.
Number 2. Princess Leia, Star Wars. Who doesn't know Princess Leia, the feisty princess who isn't afraid to pick up a blaster and fight beside Luke and Han Solo? She is an accomplished diplomat and one of the key members who guide the rebellion against the Empire. Her skills are primarily in persuasion, communications, politics, and are leadership-oriented in nature instead of using direct assault. However, when required, she is an excellent shot and not afraid to jump into action. She coordinated battles, worked with groups of rebels, provided strategic advice to rebellion leaders, and served in the Senate. But when needed, she has taken down several stormtroopers herself, snuck into Jabba's palace clandestinely to free Han Solo, and took out Jabba the Hutt by herself, making her a very formidable warrior and leader.
Give the evacuation code signal. And get to your transports!
Honorable mentions. Dr. Ellie Arway, Contact. Dr. Arway is a scientist at heart, and while most of the others on this list are leaders or warriors in the traditional sense, Ellie uses her skills as a scientist and her people skills to inspire others and move the mission forward.
All I'm asking is for you to just have the tiniest bit of vision. You know, to step back for 1 minute and look at the big picture. To take a chance on something that just might end up being the most profoundly impactful moment for humanity.
7 of 9. 7 is a former Borg that eventually joins the crew of the Voyager. Most episodes show her learning to work with others and learning from Captain Janeway. However, there are times when she takes the initiative and takes a leadership position.
The captain left me in charge during Lieutenant Torres' absence. Her feelings about me are irrelevant.
The Duras sisters, Lursa and B'Etor. Star Trek The Next Generation. The Klingon sisters that almost overthrew the Klingon government in a Klingon civil war in Star Trek The Next Generation and caused the destruction of the Enterprise 1701D in the movie Star Trek Generations. While they are villains, they still display a degree of leadership capability. And of course, a shout out to many other women in leadership roles from the Star Trek universe. Uhura, Janice Rand, Dr. Crusher, Lieutenant Tasha Yar, Ensign Rowe, Major Kira, Commander Jadzia Dax, and B'Elanna Torres, as well as many other female characters in the Star Trek universe. And for my number 1 pick, Ambassador Delenn, Babylon 5. Delenn started out as a junior ambassador and the youngest member of the Grey Council from the religious cast of the Minbari in the TV series Babylon 5. Throughout the series, she was constantly faced with challenges to her individually, against her politically, and eventually against her entire race. She always held her ground and did what needed to be done, even in the face of severe danger or potential death. She bridged a relationship between the human race and the Minbari, managed many complex political situations, helped coordinate defenses during the Shadow War, and later during the Shadow and Vorlon War. She also steadfastly helped her people through a civil war between the warrior, religious, and worker caste, and then she was eventually selected to lead the Interstellar Alliance.
This is Ambassador Delenn of the Minbari. Babylon 5 is under our protection. Withdraw. Be destroyed.
Negative. We have authority here. Do not force us to engage your ship.
Why not? Only one human captain has ever survived battle with the Minbari fleet. He is behind me. You are in front of me. If you value your lives, be somewhere else.
I hope you liked my compilation of the top 10 women leaders in 80s and 90s science fiction. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks!